Alright, welcome everybody! Game number 1 in qualifier number 2. So, we're actually not casting this from replay, despite the fact that we don't have a draft, but I'm gonna jump on that in a moment. First of all, we have on the left in blue, the Bobby Kotick fan club, with Virtual on Blaze and Malganir on Diablo. Ixias playing his infamous Probius. We have Draclick on Hanzo, and Jean Lassalle on Anduin. On the right side, the Svenska pensioners with Gia on Junkrat, Maka on Rhaegar. It's so good to have Maka back in Heroes of the Storm, even if it's just for one tournament now. Max Passion on Thrall, Svamkarota on Leoric, and we have Skok on Jonna. And why is Maka playing Rhaegar? That's actually wild. So, this is actually all live, so normally when you don't see a draft, it means that I'm casting things from replays. That's not the case here. The reason is actually fairly simple. I was supposed to cast a different game, and Nano apparently has an absolutely atrocious sleep schedule, and is, at least amongst his teammates, infamous for oversleeping. So it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and Nano is apparently sound asleep and not waking up. So that game didn't start. They might have to forfeit their match even. I have no idea. Maybe the admins can sort it out. Maybe they can get one of their subs in. I have no clue what's going to happen there, but it means that we had to really swap games quickly. And in this case, this one was still up, but they already did the draft, so I jumped in afterwards. And now we're going into our first game of qualifier number 2. So let me sum this up real quickly. This is the second out of 6 qualifiers for the Banshee Cup. We have $2,500 of prize money on the line, all sponsored by the Heroes of the Storm Sugar Daddy, aka Kevin, aka Psykif, who also massively, obviously, contributed to Berlin, to the events in Miami, who owns the land center there. I mean, the man is an amazing Heroes of the Storm fan and is single-handedly keeping the scene alive pretty much throughout the last couple of years. So big shout out to him. And the Banshee Cup is named in his honor because he is an old Sylvanas one-trick pony. So, yep, that's just what it is. And the cool thing about switching games is that we are actually getting Probius. So, yeah, me likey. Good stuff. Ixia has not really played in too many of the bigger tournaments lately, but he is known on certain maps like Tomb of the Spider Queen to play Probius. And ho-ho! The Swedes are losing their first hero. Well, Leo activating his trait is pretty much what happened. But it's kind of cool to see the Swedish team here together, see Maka playing a bit. He hasn't really played in any tournament for, I want to say, a year, maybe more than a year. So cool to have him here, even though he is playing a support role right now. We get for Leo, Paralyzing Rage right now. And for Probius, the Shield Capacitor after the Warp Resonance as his first choice. So, Tomb of Spider Queen, always a good one with the short rotations between the lanes. We're going to get a lot of action on this map. And the first few gems are also turned in already. Whereas Jojo, with all the wave clear that she brings to the table, is still idling up at the top. And they have a lot of really annoying heroes. I mean, I guess both teams have. We have Junkrat with grenades for interrupt. We have Hanzo with all of those arrows that he's just shooting around. But a lot of extra wave clear coming in from the main tank on the side of the Swedes with Jojo and her Condemn, of course. Can definitely add on that. Has on the other hand gone into Subdue as her level 4 talent right now. Down to the bottom of the map, still our solo laners doing their thing. Virtual with Blaze, obviously also an absolutely excellent choice for him. And that front line with Diablo and Blaze is quite powerful, to say the least. The middle is already getting pushed with the mercenary camps. Blue team, oh, they might have a problem with Malganir. Oh, Frenchies have to be careful here. Get immediately attacked, but thanks to Anduin, he gets zipped out. I mean, Diablo is a big boy. Anduin, he needed to do some extra, I don't know, I mean, he clearly doesn't do any push-ups. I don't know what you do in order to pull people out of a fight. But yeah, either way, he apparently trained a little bit extra because Diablo is pretty beefy. Even not fully stacked yet, that man is tough. So, tough to kill. We get the Desperate Prayer, and we have tower defense for the probe. So, Probius is in. Every time I see Probius, I remember when he was released. It was so funny. I told that story before, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe I have a few people here that haven't heard it yet. Blizzard, like, it wasn't an IAM, I believe. It was definitely Heroes of the Storm tournament. It was a big Heroes of the Storm tournament, offline tournament with a big crowd and everything. And they had a huge announcement. They kept it a secret which hero would be released, and they didn't tell anybody. And all of the devs and everybody involved on Blizzard's side, they were insanely excited. And they were like, oh my god, you guys are gonna love this. It's gonna be amazing. It was hyped, like they hyped the shit out of it. They didn't tell anybody anything. The casters didn't know anything, the players didn't know anything, the crowd obviously didn't know anything either, but they were just like hyping it up and making it like, oh my god, it's gonna be so epic, it's gonna be so great, oh my god, we can't wait to see this hero in action, oh my god, oh my god. And then at some point, finally, you know, the time hit and they showed the release video and everybody was just watching it. And people were watching the video, everybody was looking at each other and everybody was like, the fuck? What is this shit? And Blizzard thought they released the best hero in the entire world. They really thought it would be like Teemo from League of Legends. I've never seen Teemo action. I know that he's supposed to be a little annoying guy, but I know the reputation. So they thought they had a real banger on their hands there. And everybody just looked at each other and everybody was immediately just like, the fuck is this crap? It was insanely funny. I was reminded of that when I see Probius. I mean, I like the probe, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not something that anybody was super hyped for at any point in time. So, yeah. But yeah, either way. Now we got some extra... Ooh, Malgania in real trouble. Oh, and gets saved again? Yeah, no, maybe. Where's that swing? Nah, he gets out. Diablo, nice one. He's definitely clinging on to life today. He has all of his stacks together, so I didn't want to die there. Teams obviously have by now enough gems for full turn, and it is the blue team that is able to pull it off first. So we have them currently with the first set of web weavers, and maybe a kill. Rega gets wrecked by Macke. And that is a fantastic opportunity for the blue team. They now have a chance to just pull through with web beavers. And I guess Rega will be back in time to help everybody out, but still for the first few seconds he won't be here. So that's a bit of an added advantage with that first turn in for the blue team, for the Frenchies. So yeah, let's see what they can do. By now we have also Malgania on the wrong side of that gate, but not really a problem. Again, they can be aggressive, and that's exactly what they're doing. Riptire is being used to blow the minion wave to pieces and also take half of this out. So they're currently going for that immediately. And yeah, there's the next stun into the living bomb, but they cannot get that kill. They tried, but they just couldn't. Close enough though. And in the middle, the web weaver is also being defeated. So I gotta say that the boys in red have done a fairly decent job surviving throughout this. They have also all their gems still. They didn't lose anything when Rega died. Picked everything back up. So now we are seeing them with 83 in their hands. And that's essentially a double turn-in that they have available to themselves once that they make it towards the turn-in. But of course they have taken damage. I mean, you look at the minimap, you see them with every single fort losing hit points. They're still looking good in experience. It's all a question of whether or not they're now going to be able to turn in. That's essentially what it's going to be. So Probius has gone into the null gate. We have Sundering for Thrall, and the turning gets interrupted for now. They are down at the bottom of the map heavily fighting, and keep in mind how many gems they're holding. The red team needs to make sure that if they're going into a battle, they can survive it, and they're not going to lose a hero yet. Nice trap against Diablo, but I just do not think that they have what it takes to take him down. Particularly with Skok already low. Bunker was used just to be on the safe side, and Jojo actually coming through with a quick blast shield, which didn't really have a big impact for them here. So, yeah. Still the push in the middle with a mercenary camp. That's something that we actually need to keep an eye on too. That's actually doing a little bit more damage than they probably thought it would. And Thrall is already threatening slightly to turn in, but moves to the top to defeat the wave. And Probius immediately changed directions. But now that Svamgrotta is moving in, they're going to get that turn in, aren't they? No? Yes, he did. Alright, for a second I was like, wow, did they interrupt it again? So yeah, there it is. Alright, so... let's go. Quick attack against Malgania once more. He is being the punching ball of the Svenska boys. But now they have to really do something with that web weaver wave. Particularly since Virtual at the bottom of the map with his blaze has already taken down that fort. There's a talent advantage too for the fan club. So yeah, right now this is pretty much the moment to shine. Can the pensioners I have no idea how to properly pronounce that word, I gotta be honest. I think it's pensioners, but I'm not quite sure. It's not something that I usually have in my vocabulary. So yeah, the old farts. I think I'm gonna call them old farts from now on. I should also rename the team. So the old farts from Sweden are currently trying to at least destroy the gates, and I guess in an ideal world also damage the fort in the middle a little bit, but the Web Weaver here has already been defeated, so nothing they can really do here either. Not the most successful first objective that I've ever seen in my life, and generally speaking it seems like there's another quick light bomb engage, okay. Good barbecue from Dibbles, not enough. Nice Riptire, but the follow-up is not good enough yet. Maybe now a chance to get a kill. They lose Johanna, and the fan club is just looking a bit stronger here right now. Make goes for the last bite and says like, okay, your ass is mine. Jumps in and bites Hanzo. Nope, he's dead. He's dead, and that's 15 gems down the drain. They still got enough for the second turn in, but yeah, 4 kills to 1. You can see where this is currently going. So, yep, it is what it is. There's the turn-in, and now with 44 gems in the hands of Max Passion, I can guarantee you that Thrall would love nothing more but finally turn that in. Trying to go for Anduin here for just a second. Another quick attack. Can they come in and take Diablo down finally? No, they cannot because of Anduin. Yeah, that's the problem when you have Anduin on the other side. Every time you think you make a good play with stacking some CC and the burst damage, and all of a sudden Anduin comes in and is like, nope! And yeah, all that good work goes to the trash can. But alright, for now, what we're getting is Max Passion with enough gems for turning by himself. He's working towards the secret mount. He needs the 100 gems. And the blue team turns in again, so they have a chance to take the remaining forts out. Well, basically they're taking the one at the top lane apart already, but they have a chance to kill the one in the middle. 155,000 damage already for Probius. So, yeah, there's that. And now there's also a level 16 on the board. Honestly, this is pretty amazing what they have here. They have all the forts destroyed except for the one in the middle, which they can definitely get. Then they have a level 16 advantage. This is about as good as it gets when we're talking about pushes. So this chance to maybe... I don't think they can take a keep, but they should be able to open a few of these walls. And Max Passion is very, very hesitant to engage. And can you blame him? The man has 51 gems right now. That is a full turn-in for them. So, yeah, not a lot that's going on here. But then again, they're starting to move in for the damage in the middle as expected. Leo's defending in the bottom of the map. He's also trying to get extra experience for them. They want level 16, of course, too, so they can at least fight back here. Ixia still getting a lot of value out of Probius. Okay, Arrow is already out, ults are being fired away, and that's also true for Diablo. They kill Johanna again, and Diablo hasn't died yet. Okay, Diablo has still not fallen even once. He's just perfect at the front, just keeping everybody at bay, not allowing them to do anything. And that is a... I was about to say like wild decision, but then again, Jojo in 20 seconds, okay. Yeah, okay, forget it. They got the clear. They have Hanzo here, and yeah, they are shredding this fairly quickly. So they have a 4 versus 5 going on for a bit, and they're not risking too much since Johanna is down, and go in, take the boss. So they're just going for blow here. I'm not used to this, I gotta admit. The Frenchies are going into the wrong direction. They're moving forward right now. I'm not used to that from the French, so yeah. But they are doing it exceptionally well. They're running through all the motions here. Get an advantage, get a kill, go for boss, grab that, second objective, work on the next one, 40 gems, can turn them in, maybe even get a kill here. So the Swedes are in trouble. Maybe they shouldn't have retired. Or retired a little bit later. I'm gonna call him the Svenska retirees or something. Actually, I liked old farts. But we need to rename this a little bit. Sounds a little bit weird. They wrote their team name obviously fully in Swedish, but yeah, I'm not gonna try that. Unless somebody pre-pronounces it first for me. And honestly, I don't care that much. We all know what they're going for here. Mithril Base for Leo. I mean, the game isn't over yet. They haven't lost the key, but they haven't taken a single fort down yet either. Max Passion turns in, so this is kind of the moment where they really have to get their act together. This is the opportunity to take a few forts out and win a team fight, and essentially that's what they have to do. If they are not able to pull it off here, then when will they ever? So, yeah. That's gonna be a bit awkward if they are being defended against once more from the red team. If they're not taking a fort here, not a single kill, then I believe it's going to be a slow and painful death that they're going to be dying. But this is still a big chance. If they land a good entomb, for example, if they make a nice play there, there's a lot that they can really do in order to turn this around. But they got to start somewhere. They're still trailing by an entire level, so once level 20 hits for the fan club, then you know trouble's brewing. And they're already giving up the Web Weaver at the bottom of the map, so that one's gone. Up at the top, Web Weaver is defeated too. In the middle, it's not looking too hot either. Yeah, guys, that is not looking too great. Yeah, that is not really helping. That entomb missing, yeah, not again, not doing them any favors either. They got a lot of gems, they got 100, 101, but they have less and less chances to come back in this game. The fan club is doing exceptionally well. They have all the trump cards in their hands. They got level 20. And there's the opportunity to maybe take one down. Blessed Shield, Sundering. They want everything on him. There's the bunker. Arrow gets soaked up by Leo. They're going to kill one. They're going to kill Blaze. They're going to 5-man him. And there it is.
And we say bye-bye.
So yeah, he is down. But they just didn't care anymore. They was just like, fuck it. We go for it. We just kill him. No matter what else happens, we're just gonna kill him. That's the only thing that matters. We want the kill right now, and if we have to go 5 versus 1, we'll do it. So yeah, he gets caught, loses a few gems. Maybe now a chance to turn in again for the pensioners. But yeah, that was needed. 37 seconds until he's back to business. So yeah, let's see. Can they get that turn in? Yeah, they can. I mean, again, Svamgrota alone with 40 that he had. They have 2. They can turn in twice in a row. They will hit level 20 with this. You gotta give them credit for the resilience that they've been showing so far. But of course, it needs to be a bit more effective than that. They need to eventually be able to come in here and take more than 1 kill, take a couple of structures out. And you know, with level 20, they might be able to pull that off. We are still expecting Buried Alive, and there it is. We also are getting World Breaker. So those are a couple of really nice ults if you are trying to turn the game around. The cooldown reduction on Thrall's level 20 is going to be pretty epic as well. They still have chances to turn this around. 2 of the forts are now going to fall, and they are more or less starting to really bring this together. Probius, Blessed Shield, and the big entomb! That was huge! Probius is dead! And now they're coming in for potential follow-up kills as the Web Weavers are traveling through the top and bot lane. But a big barbecue play from Diablo nearly burns Svamgrota to a ground. He's still alive though. They go for Virtual, and now Blaze is dead again. Damn, they just turned that game, didn't they? 5 kills to 4 now, and after the fan club has dominated the entire game, now they're losing hit points at the top side keep. Actually, scratch that, they're gonna lose the entire thing. The keep here is 100% gone, and now they're moving down to the bottom of the map potentially to try and eliminate this one as well. And keep in mind what I said earlier, they have enough gems for another turn-in. They might not even need it, but if they want to go for another follow-up turn-in, they can. They have 2 keeps destroyed right now, and they are hoping for more kills. Obviously, they're pushing now. They're trying to end it right here, right now. And with Hanzo dying, there's a huge chance for them to pull exactly that off. Anduin is dead as well. And this looks like it is the end. They turned it. Damn, son. That was pretty sexy. The entire game, it was the fan club that controlled the flow of things. And now towards the end, with one huge objective, a great entomb from Leoric, they're coming in to claim victory in game number 1. The old farts with the lead in the best of 3 series here at the second qualifier of the Banshee Cup. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Infernal Shrines, map number 2. So we got the lead for the old farts on the red team side. And yeah, I don't know, like, while we started with this, we honestly had in the middle a discussion going on about Star Trek, and I personally, just because of when I was born and everything, I grew up with Next Generation, so obviously Team Jean-Luc, but somehow it always drifts then off to when everything went wrong, and I believe we can all agree that that was definitely Discovery, and I just cannot, I heard just now that apparently Discovery has 5 seasons. Who watches this trash? Like, I don't know. This Discovery is the perfect example of somebody getting their hands on a franchise that don't give a shit about the franchise. They want to do their own thing, their own story, what they came up with, but they don't want to do it as a standalone because they know that it's absolute trash garbage and nobody would watch it. So they have to slap a label on it of something that's successful, of something that people love, and then ruin it completely in the process because they're just untalented hacks that got their hands on a franchise that is just so much better than anything that they could possibly come up with. That's Discovery in a nutshell. How did that shit get 5 seasons? Holy hell, I hope I was lied to, and that's actually not true. But I didn't even survive an entire season, I believe. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. So, yeah. Star Trek has gone the same way that Star Wars has, the way of the dodo bird, because all of these nutcases have now taken over control there. And the quality that we're getting is... yeah. Yeah, interesting, let's say the least. Okay, but we still have heroes, we still got some games here, and we get a Dehaka first pick. Now, keep in mind, there is actually a quick rule. You cannot play the same hero twice. We're not going to have any pre-bans, not here, not in the playoffs, not in the finals, but... heroes can only be played once just to make things a little bit more interesting. So, Maiev and Tyrael off to a good and very aggressive start now for the red team. Dehaka coming in on the other side for the fan club, so they have a little bit of global pressure on this one. But Tyrael and Maiev starting things off is already very, very dangerous. A good sanctification with Maiev coming in for Tether. Could see, obviously, Stukov being picked together with this, if not banned, because Stukov right now with Maiev is pretty amazing. But we'll see. We got Whitemane, we got Anubarak. It could be an interesting draft. The fan club is willing to play some heroes that are a bit outside of the box, which we've already seen with Ixia and his Probius. And again, his Probius is actually really good. If you have followed the European scene for a long time, then you're definitely familiar with him as a player and also with this Probius. I mean, obviously, most of the time he plays in the support role, but we have seen him play Probius a lot and sometimes even banned against him. In the last game, it didn't quite work for them. But that was mainly because the the Swedes were able, with one single objective towards the end, just clean the entire map. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, so ban on Mephisto. And now the question, what exactly is the fan club going to get rid of? They already have their own support, so they could ban one out. But they ban Vala. Also not a bad choice, considering the players that we have on the red team side. I'm still curious what we're getting as the support here. If they're going to try for Stukov together with Maiev. I mean, you have a Nubarak diving against you, you have Dehaka coming in from behind, so there's a couple of things that could happen there. We'll see. Yeah, we'll have a look, but for now, it's time to pick some damage dealers and a support, I suppose. Tychus, okay, we get Odin, and we get Uther. Okay. Snowman boy. Just feels a little bit wrong to see Make in a support role, didn't it? But, yeah. Feels a little bit strange. He has played support in other tournaments too for his teams. So, there's that. But, yeah. Now, anyways, final 2 picks for the blue team. Obviously, again, we have a winner bracket and a loser bracket here. So if they lose this map, then they drop down into the losers bracket. They won't be out of the tournament just yet. It's hammer time, and we get Kelthas. I love that we have Kelthas a bit more these days. I really like it. I just find him really fun to watch with the gravity lapse as a follow-up. He can contribute to CC chains, still have the damage in as well. So, yeah, definitely a plus in my book. With our final pick being Gia, and they should need a bit more damage. They could go for triple frontline here for sure, with Tyrael, Maiev, and now his pick. But let's see what they aim. They go for a second range damage dealer. They go for Falstad, so they can mirror the movements of Dehaka with the global. And well, that is game number 2, everybody. So, let's go. Infernal Shrines, second map between the Svenska Old Farts and the Bobby Kotick fan club. Infernal Shrines, our second map, and on the left we have Virtual playing De Haka in this game. We're looking at Ixio and Whitemane, Jean Lassalle on Sergeant Hammer, Malgan and Nubarak, and Dreoclick playing Kelthas. Alright, it is party time as the red team has an opportunity to move on to the next round of the winner bracket. We have the Swedes with Gian Falstad, Svamgrota on Maiev, Skok is playing Tyrael, we got Make on Uther, and Max Passion on Tychus. So, can they make this a 2-0 victory and move on straight to the next round of the tournament, of the second qualifier for the Banshee Cup? Or how is this going to play out? For now, what we're getting is an immediate attack on Jean Lassalle, and he gets out. I have to admit that the French are so far very good at evading death. They've done a fantastic job in game number 1 to always get out of battle whenever it became a little bit too tricky. This is something that is inherent in their culture, and you know, something that gets passed on from generation to generation. Unfortunately, in this case, apparently it skipped one because Jean Lassalle goes down regardless. We have Sergeant Hammer eliminated. And that is first blood for the Svenska boys. Yeah, they're starting to do a little bit better here, aren't they? I mean, honestly, this is looking pretty okay for them now, at least early on. It feels a bit like after the first map and the problems they had there, they've now started to find their flow. Maybe they just had to finish their pudding, and now they are a lot better. Get their medicine, you know. And after pudding time, now they have 2 hands that they can play with. This seems a little bit more like what's actually going on. I have no idea, but yeah. And maybe they didn't warm up before. Whatever it is, this is a much better start into game number 2 than what we've seen previously. Obviously, also a much more aggressive draft than what they've shown in previous games. They might even get another kill against De Haka here. They definitely want him. Virtual is still alive, though. Might go for Tyrael instead. Skok is slightly too far ahead. And that's all of a sudden 2 kills in favor of the Frenchies. They take down Tyrael and Maiev. Sergeant Hammer is lost again. Bit annoying for the Sergeant. I mean, this is the second time now that she's fallen. But they are, well, I was about to say they're at least trading well, but no, down here they lose Kelthas. And this puts, again, I want to say the Swedes a bit into the driver's seat. They have the level 4 a couple of seconds earlier. They get the slight advantage in kills. We now have them with Tyrael going, Tychus going for the bigger they are. It could very well be a super interesting game that we're going to see here. So, yeah, let's have a little bit of a look on this. I mean, right now, already, we get the Energy Royal as the level 4 talent. Siege Tactics, obviously, have been deployed too. And with the first objective being announced, teams are making their move towards their Siege Giant camps, starting to make a play there. And, yeah, just trying to slowly make a move on this one. Set it up on the top lane, where the Shrine spawns bot side. And then you can try and get maybe some structural damage hit. Each team has a global. Falstad will stay a bit longer at the top lane. So will De Haka. Both of them trying to get their team to level 7 to defeat your opponent's Shaman camp while pushing their own through. And now down at the bottom of the map, we still got a bit of extra action as teams are trying to get into a good position for the Shrine. For Sergeant Hammer, this is the more annoying one because, again, she doesn't have the mobility yet. And with a tiny lead in experience for the Swedes, they are slightly ahead right now. So, all the way up at the top, Maiev is even helping out, so Falstad is not alone. They're trying to go for the wall there. And Maiev is actually staying. They're really going for this up here. So they are trying to get more damage in. Very nice Tong, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And I feel the blue team has slightly miscalculated because they are getting ahead on the objective and they're likely going to be able to win this. The problem that they're facing is, though, that the topside push is doing way more damage than I think they initially anticipated. Here's level 7 as well. And just look how much damage they're doing here. They destroyed the wall. They're now going for the fort. Nobody's really rotating yet. And yes, they're winning the objective. The question is just how much damage can they do with that thing? Once that they have the objective, how much damage can they actually do? While topside, their fort is basically lost. I mean, even if it doesn't get destroyed, it's already going to be insanely low. So this is a problem, and the more resources they're of course now going to spend in order to maybe... the Winyan! Perfect! The last spear actually taking it. That was amazing. That was fantastic for them. Now Nubarak is gone. Yeah, he gets killed. That was pretty sweet. And Sergeant Hammer is dead too. Okay, that's 2 kills. Fantastic attack at the top with the fort getting destroyed. Down at the bottom, the Punisher hasn't done nearly as much. And if you just look at the difference in experience, the difference in map control now, it's obviously massive. Yeah, that was big. Level ahead, 3 kills ahead, 1 structure destroyed. So yeah, they did a great job here, and gotta give them some credit for that. That is honestly looking fantastic. So yeah, nicely done. Now we have level 10 coming in, and that makes things even worse for the French team, because with level 10, unless they're killing Makino. He has level 10, he could use this Divine Shield if he needed to, always assuming that he actually specs into it and doesn't go for a Divine Storm. But with level 10 abilities, they can now go on the hunt, and that's exactly what we're seeing from them. So they're starting to make a bit of a play. Try for Sergeant Hammer again. Here's the opportunity after the disc came out. No tether though. But they're using their heroic abilities pretty much instantly after they hit level 10. So all of the damage being done here. Everything just going strong for the fort in the middle. They open the wall up. Maybe not as much as they initially hoped for with heroic abilities, but hey, then again, they did a lot already. And just pushing that advantage further, we're talking nearly a 2-level lead at this point, is already worth it. So, in comes the next attack, starting to make a bit of a play again as they're moving in for the camp. I mean, obviously, if you still hold a talent advantage over your opponent, you're trying to steal away whatever you can. And that's exactly what they're currently doing here too. So, starting to make a play for it, grab it. They have level 11 now. Blue team is barely getting their next ability. And once that they have level 10, they can take these fights, bring it back a bit. We have them also now on level 10 with the Scarlet Aegis, obviously. So Ixia, again, I mean, he's an absolute fantastic player and really somebody that can turn a game around as well. But in order to help out, he needs to be close, and he was nowhere near the Haka, so that's another kill, and that's 6 kills to 2. The Swedish boys, they have not lost their touch, have they? Game number 1 was maybe a bit rough, but now they're looking so much better. Cocoon to slow the rotation down a bit. Down at the bottom of the map, everybody is getting trapped, and this is not looking good for the fan club whatsoever. This is looking horrible. Marke for a second gets killed, but he doesn't die. Well, actually, they're all insanely low. They're much lower than I expected them to be. And Uther dies without even using his Divine Shield, so that got turned against them very quickly. The Haka also tunneled in, and now they don't only lose Uther, they lose Tychus too. I really thought they would be able to take multiple of the blue team's players out, but Maka didn't even use his Divine Shield, so a lot of the ults weren't properly used there. And the fan club organized their attack just a bit better at the end of the day, and was able to succeed and get some kills. They're slightly back here. Not fully, but yeah, they're doing their thing. Alright, so with that now, we have still a bit of an attack happening in the middle at the gate, potentially. You could try and put Sergeant Hammer also on the shrine, which you now have with 23 stacks to their name. Getting a little bit further on that. And they are going to get the entire thing. There's not even going to be a fight over it. Uther coming back late, even with a level 13 advantage, they're just going to let that go. And that is severely threatening the fort in the middle of the map. So, yeah. For the fort, that is a bit of a problem. Because right now, you can bait that over, but Sergeant Hammer pushing in will be a problem. The Haka could always join the fun. Falstad, of course, is going to try and pin him down at the top lane with that push that he's currently executing here. But they are still doing okay down here. Taking it down to 50% within a couple of seconds. Everybody is committing to it. The birdie will have to fly, and fly quickly. Oi, 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 oi. Yeah, that was clutch. That was really clutch. That could have backfired for sure. They were trying to get him with isolation, and instead now Nubarak is getting attacked, but Falstad. Whew, that was quite the timing. Let's take another quick look at this. So yeah, Falstad, so in the middle they defend, and then Falstad, the Haka sees it, flies, and barely doesn't get hit. Now Kelthas is down, and with Sanctification out, they're chasing a few more. They're going for that fight in the middle again. They've already taken one down, but now it's false that it might be in trouble. Malganir wants the kill, and he himself might have gone a bit too deep on this one. Gets tethered and taken down. The cockroach is dead. And with 8 kills to 4, Disc barely missing, they're now trying to come in again for a follow-up kill on Ixia, and he's not making it either. They get him, come in and drop him.
Gotcha, bitch.
So, 9 kills to 4, and yep, they're going for Jean Lassalle as well. So, all of a sudden, the entire blue team gets pretty much ping-ponged around. Multiple of them are dead or dying, 10 kills to 4, and they are looking... I mean, again, at this point, it's just like the Swedish team running the show here. They're 2 levels ahead. Not quite, 1.5. But they've taken out the fort at the top lane early on. Now they're going in the middle to try and do the same thing here. So, yeah, lots of work being done by them. And it's looking exceptionally good for them. They are just taking one hero out after another. Malganir comes back, instantly dies again. Doesn't even survive for half a minute. And it's just an insane pain train from the Swedes. The Swedes are coming in here like Vikings, and they are just wrecking everything. They're going through the Frenchies like hot butter through cheese. Topside, Virtual is trying to bring this back a bit, but even that is looking like a problem. There's a talent advantage now, a 2-level lead. They're just way too far ahead on this one. And with another camp being stolen here as well. Oh, sorry, not stolen. The camp actually taken by the blue team now. They're trying to at least get that done before the red team comes in and claims it. That's why the timing is a bit off towards the usual, where you want to get it as the objective gets spawned. But look at Khaldor, for example. He's at 19 stacks, but 11 minutes into the game and at level 15 for the blue team. And we still don't have them with a completed quest for Khaldor. Nice gust dodge by Malganir on the other hand, and they get false as a result. They were able to go for the birdie, and now Tyrael gets caught. So they still have a couple of nice moves left, and in this case it results in a double kill for the blue team. Tigers is sitting in the middle for a moment, is trying to damage this a bit. Top side, yes, there's another shrine activating. The problem is that it's a really awkward situation for the Swedish team, because what exactly are you going to do here? Your opponent just picked up their own level 16 talent, and they have an advantage over you by 2 heroes on the map. 5 versus 3. Now we also get Giant Killer, and instantly they move towards the middle of the map in an attempt to take the fort out, which they do. So, yeah, great job. That means, then again, that they're giving up on their advantage on the shrine. So them trying to push for the fort here also means that the objective is going to be a bit easier for the Swedish team to fight over. And they're getting a kill with a 3 versus 5. Are you kidding me? They take... jeez. They take down Sergeant Hammer. Falstad flies, wants to gust apparently. Yeah, I'm sorry, Gia, but if you really wanted to gust there, you need to fly a little bit deeper than that. Well, that one didn't do a whole lot. But yeah, the Swedes still with some really nice plays. That 3 versus 5 kill that they got was absolutely ridiculous. Also a bit of a risk taken, honestly. And then the rest of the team comes in, and they are just way too much for the Frenchies to handle. 41,000 damage for Tigers. We have 40,000 damage for Sergeant Hammer. Svamkrota is making it out of the fight. He on 33,000 is second highest damage on the red team. Just as a bit of a side note. And, well, over on the left side, we have Khaldor bringing in 24k on his own. Falstad now is doing his job at the side lane. Again, he needs to control those lanes. He is the one with the global, so he's currently doing the best that he can down here. And, yeah, all the way at the top, the blue team is trying to go for the objective again. But the red team isn't really interested in a lot of these fights. They're oftentimes just sitting there saying, you know what, we're working towards level 20 now. Even if you get our top fort, we don't really care too much. They're trying to open up some of these walls. Well, there's the BFG coming in, but does only get a bit of damage against Max Passion, who were initially trying to take my F down here. But yeah, with all that side lane control, you can really tell that the objective for the Svenskas is to just get their level 20. That's all that they're trying to do here. Get level 20 and play around that. We got now Frozen Punisher claimed at the top. And I mean, Frozen Punisher is always nice when you get it. If you have a Frozen Punisher, you find yourself in a really good spot when you're trying to go for the objective. Sanctification is already out. Punisher wants a piece of the action, gets baited towards the middle. This is not really a good look for the red team. They're definitely struggling there, and by now everybody is part of the party. It's a 5 versus 5 as the Haka falls. Kelthas follows. Svamgrota trying to spread the love a little bit. Falstad is having none of that though. And they now go for another attack with a level 20, with Epic Mount even in the mix, and now also Redemption. They're trying to make a move for Sergeant Hammer and for Malganir. Malganir is already on the run. He's gonna die here. He's not gonna make it out of this one. Gets sniped. Sergeant Hammer still not able to get a kill. They tried everything that they could, but it's not successful. And it is a full 5-man team wipe. The entire red team is still alive. And the Punisher gets baited by a flying Falstad. Neat. Awesome job. Yeah, that one worked too. Alright, so as is, we're now looking at level 20. 17 kills to 6, by the way. They wiped the entire team, and now they can easily start to make another move, you know, towards the middle, towards the bottom, get the fort, get the keeps, whatever they want to do here. Those Storm Talons are pretty sexy. And now we have, of course, also another chance to steal a couple of camps away if you want them. For example, the Shaman camp up here at the top could be claimed very easily. And yeah, here as well. Try and make a play with Falstad. So they steal a couple of the camps. They have now at the bottom of the map Tyrael in position to push for the last remaining fort. Now, they have to, of course, be a bit careful here, because eventually what's going to happen is that the fan club is going to get their own level 20. And we kind of remember what happened in game number 1. It was on the other side, but it was initially the blue team that ran the entire show. And then once that the red team got their own level 20, made it into the late game, started to get turn-ins, then it all turned. That could happen here again, just in favor of the blue team. So they need to try and capitalize on level 20 as much as they can. Run that Storm Talent, siege up as they do right now, and try and take some of these keeps down. You want to get that structural advantage as quickly as you can, and that is essentially what we currently have them do here. An entire level has to be bridged by the fan club in order to get there. Malganir in trouble again, gets this, the BFG comes out, a few heals are needed, they're all low. The red team is low and there's the Sanctification, they're clustering up for it. The Haka's coming in, get stunned, but they have to fall back, and they didn't get the keep. They weren't able to take the keep down, so let's not forget about that. It's a good defense from the fan club. The problem, obviously, is always that you are pushing into Sergeant Hammer. Not something that most people will be happy with. 65,000 damage from our boy, from Sergeant Hammer. 70,000 damage from Tigers on the other side. So, yeah, gotta be a bit careful on this. They're gonna get level 20. They're not too far behind. This is still manageable. They haven't done all that well throughout the game, but they are still fighting level 20 versus level 20 in a second again. And that's going to be huge. Sergeant Hammer died 6 times, by the way. 6 times. Now we got the Ultra Capacitors. We also got Rewind. We got Flamethrower. Kelthas in particular is going to be very happy with the extra range that he now got through all of it. So yeah, good for him. Attack is there again as they're starting to dive back out. Epic Mount is also going to be super interesting now that we're entering the real late game, because if Falstad is able to leverage this properly, they can really make some macro plays. Trying to isolate Sergeant Hammer there again for just a moment, not quite as successful as they envisioned. But here comes the Nubarak with his Rewind. They're going for another engage, and Skog makes it out. Got a bit close there for a moment. Svamgrota also eats part of the BFG damage. Sergeant Hammer has to retreat, and there's another tip-top Sanctification as they're trying to get a kill, and they do. Sergeant Hammer is down. That's the 7th death of the Sergeant. Aiming for the double digits here. Camp in the middle of the map, dealing with another minion wave. They could try and push for this though. Shrine is active, and we already have the Swedish team on the point. Now they have the lead. They got the 5 versus 4. Now they go for the objective. Falstad can always fly back down once that the gate is destroyed and make that an easy move. And everybody else is starting to dive in and try and poke a bit from afar. But yeah, Falstad is already moving over. Doesn't even use his Epic Mount, just moves down. And the Haka has reappeared. It's a 4 versus 4 essentially. And Tigers goes down. Shield on Macke. kind of missed it. I think Tigers was already dead when he was trying to use it. Not even sure if it was an actual misclick, but I think Tigers just died a second before he used it, and then it went over to Uther. So now they have to fight a 4 versus 4 even with Falstad. The Frenchies are fighting back. We can give them as much shit as we want, but these guys are really trying, and they're taking my F down, and they are not even happy with that. They're going for a 3rd kill, dropping Tyrael, so they want game number 3. They don't want to go down into that lower bracket. Nope. Instead, what we're seeing is them fighting tooth and nail for every inch of the map now. And they're doing exceptionally well on this. 9 kills to 18. Yes, they haven't really looked good in those team fights throughout the game, but now they are closing in again. And they're about to win another objective. Not a single Punisher has been won by the Swedish team. Not one. A lot of them they just abandoned where they didn't want to fight. They thought, okay, if we can keep them occupied on the shrine while we push, we get actually more value than when they get a Punisher. And initially that's true. If you execute that well with the 1st and the 2nd Punisher, it's absolutely correct. But as these things scale, that's a different story. And we're now 20 minutes into this game. So at this point, the rules are a little bit different. And I don't know if the Swedish team can properly hold this. I think they should be able to defend here. They already pull Odin. 90,000 damage for Tigers nearly, but look how quickly this keep is getting damaged. There's a huge chance that the fan club is going to take at least the keep, maybe even more than that. Jean Lassalle on Sergeant Hammer in the back might have died 7 times, but as long as they're getting the damage out, who cares? 90,000 for Tigers, 80,000 for Sergeant Hammer. Punisher is about to be taken out, and they're on the chase, trying to get them here, which they currently cannot quite pull off yet. But essentially, the blue team is now ahead. Blue team is ahead. They've just taken a keep down. The first keep got destroyed by the fan club. So, yep, they believe in their chance to turn this one around. And who knows, they might actually be able to pull that off. So, the attacks are coming in the middle. Everybody is waiting for an opportunity to get that easy kill that would allow it to go for game. But the next objective is also going to spawn down at the bottom of the map. Samgrota pushing a lane out. Okay, gets the disc against Ixia. Maybe now a chance. Gust is being used. They're going for the isolation. And goodbye. Beautiful. Beautiful play. Also, there's Sanctification after the Divine Shield was used. Tyrael, they want another kill, and they cannot get it. At least not against Sergeant Hammer, but Uther dies. He has Redemption and will be back. The Ghost already busy, just healing everybody back up, but the blue team is not giving up on this. They should maybe, because the Archive is not looking too hot either. Tries to turn it around with a quick tongue, can't. Double catapult also now in the middle. It has to be dealt with. 22 minutes into the game. Down at the bottom of the map. Next camp is taken. They want to take that fort out, and they really should. But Falstad, yes, he's hearthing. Falstad is hearthing back now. 105,000 damage for Tigers. Part of the 6-digit club at this point. He made it. But who's taking the next keep? Who's winning this game? 29 kills so far. I gotta admit that in the Banshee Cup we've seen one banger after another. The games have been incredible. I'm personally super happy that we got the Swedish team in, because it's been a while that I've seen Macke in a tournament. But the fan club is also just doing whatever they can to not drop down into the lower bracket, to force game number 3 and maybe make it in this series with the 2-1 victory over the Swedes. So yeah, now they're sitting at the top, going for the camp. Keep that shrine at the bottom of the map in mind. It's gonna spawn soon. We're now 23 minutes into this game. Catapults are starting to hurt. And that's essentially a big problem for the Swedes. Cocoon is already out. They're trying to go for the fight here. Yeah, Maef is coming in. Should be fine for now. Tyrael is still Gucci. He's still alright. Instead, Sergeant Hammer gets all of a sudden attacked. Where's that stun when you need it? And they don't even need the follow-up stun. They go for the Sergeant. Sergeant Hammer is down. Macke is a little bit low. Was trying to come in to help the rest of the team out. Oh, but Tyrael gets popped before Uther is in Divine Shield range. So now it's a kill for a kill. 4 versus 4 as they're starting to continue with the plays over here. Another attack is coming with Sergeant Hammer out of the picture. They try to leverage Odin just to go for, maybe not a kill, but for their keep. And Divine Shield gets thrown out super early. Yeah, essentially Make is saying, alright, we're not going to lose anybody else here. I'm going to throw the Divine Shield out already just to play this safe. And they got the lead on the objective. So they have that. The French team with the Haka now at the top. So they are trying to do their thing here. 8 deaths on Sergeant Hammer. And the attacks are still coming down at the bottom with the Haka coming in for the Tong. Yeah, 4 versus 4 still. Disc is out. Uther is getting attacked here. Should have his redemption back if I'm not mistaken. But boy, oh boy. The question at this point is really if the Swedes are going to win an objective in this game or not. So far they haven't won a single one. Yeah, nice damage here from Sergeant Hammer from a distance. Grotto! And he's dead. Maiev down, and they could not afford that death. Yeah, that looks fantastic for the Frenchies. Good luck defending that. I am pretty sure we're looking at another kit that gets destroyed. The fan club, they have not given up throughout the entire game. They've been struggling in the early and mid game in particular. And the Swedish team had, what, a 1.5, 2 level lead around level 20. But there's nothing of that anymore. I actually thought that Falstad might stay a bit longer. I don't think I've seen Falstad use his Epic Mount a whole lot, to be honest with you. If you already go in Epic Mount, I would expect him to use this just a bit more. He pushed the top lane out very nicely, and the keep at the top gets attacked by the catapults. They might even be able to take it out. The question is, can they defend their bot lane? And I'm not talking about the keep here. That is very likely going to fall. The question is, are they going to be defeated completely? Because Maiev is still not back. It's another 6 seconds, and if they, for example, lose Tyrael or anybody else here, then they are in trouble. Tyrael is getting out. Uther! And there's the Sanctification as they're trying to turn it. That Punisher. Uther dead, but he has Redemption. Uther is dead. Redemption is still kicking in, so it's fine. It's a badass of a Punisher. Frozen Punisher is always a problem. Here's the kill. Tyrael is down. He should take those catapults out with the explosion. The catapults cannot stay. 50% on the core. Punisher is going to be defeated. If they take the catapults out, they have a chance, but now Tychus is eliminated. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is game. We are going to game number 3 as the Bobby Cottage fan club takes out the old farts from Sweden. GG, well played. At this point, I'm honestly kind of happy that we missed the game that we initially wanted to cover, because we have a pretty cool match on our hands and we are headed into game 3. So, Battlefield of Eternity is our 3rd map, and the fan club was able to win map number 2, Infernal Shrines, with the pensioners not winning a single Punisher. Not one! They looked for a long time like they would win. But basically, both of these games have now been a late game turnaround. So, in the late game, at some point, the team that was beaten down time and time again was somehow able to stabilize, get in level 20, eye level with their opponent, turn it around, and win it. So, yeah, is what it is. Now that we're heading into Battlefield, also again the reminder, you cannot pick the same hero twice within the same series, just as a side note. We get Ixia's Zarya banned. If you ask yourself in game number 2, for example, why Zarya is banned, same as with Probius. Ixia is known for a couple of heroes, and Zarya is one of them. So it is pretty much a targeted ban at that. The question comes up every now and then, and oftentimes when you see specific heroes being banned out, it is because there's a player on the other side that's exceptionally good with it. One of the things that probably amuses me the most is that in a lot of the YouTube videos in particular, the comments that come in is that somebody's like, oh my god! Like, how could they not ban this hero against that guy? And it's probably the dumbest comment that you can possibly make in a game like Heroes of the Storm, because it's like, well, yeah, there's somebody like Dainu, for example, that is known for, like, I don't know, a Zeratul Tracer, whatever it may be. But there's also 4 other players on the same team that also have some picks that you want to ban out against them. When you're going up against Hazu, you want to ban the Vikings, depending on the map you're on, or you want to ban Abathur. Then you see Ultralisk, you want to ban Kerrigan, you want to ban Maiev. So you can't ban them out, like all of them. At some point, you just gotta say, like, well, if they pick that, then it's just something we gotta deal with. But yeah, the Sunday Like the Monday morning quarterbacking and just like the hindsight 2020 comments are always the best to me. All of those people are welcome on the Twitch stream, by the way. We have a prediction game that's going on before pretty much every single game, where you can predict which team wins, so you're gonna make bank there. I mean, just esports dollars, so it's not that I can buy anything for it. But yeah, if you have all that knowledge, you know, stored up, and you know you're never wrong, then by all means, like, try it out there. Anna together with Varian for the fan club, and here in Battlefield of Eternity we get Li Ming, Urel, and Muradin for the red team. I'm still missing my girl. I'm still missing Vala. That would have been nice. Chromie gets banned. Tracer got also the boot. But Vala with an arrow build would be still pretty cool here. If you're picking Varian, on the other hand, you're more so looking for some burst damage. That's the main reason why they're banning out Chromie, because that's exactly what they don't want to deal with. They don't want to go up against an opponent that just taunts a target and maybe even sets that up with a sleep dart beforehand. And then Chromie comes in and just hammers them into the ground, fully pancakes the entire thing. So, double pick with Vala. There she is. And we get Rexa. Okay. With that, you have Varian's taunt into Misha stun. Anna can also get a couple of sleep darts connected in order to add her own CC to it. Vala, of course, with a potential follow-up on Rain of Vengeance that she can use. Still expecting to see an arrow build here against the Immortal and not an auto attack style. For that, they would have to add a second support, which they could. But again, Battlefield arrow build is a little bit more dominant. And here comes Tyrande and Sylvanas. Okay, first appearance for Sylvanas here in the Banshee Cup, qualifier number 2. And Tyrande and Muradin, old school. Yep, we're going back to, what, 2000 and... I don't even know. But yeah, Miranda, old school. Very, very old school. I think it's like 2015, 2016 Heroes of the Storm, what we're seeing here. And it leaves us with Jean Lassalle, Sergeant Hammer from last game. The final pick for map number 3, and it is Deathwing. Alright, let's go. Game number 3, everybody. The winner goes on to the next round of the winner bracket here at qualifier number 2 of the Banshee Cup, and the loser drops down into the lower bracket. Game number 3, the final map. We have Virtual for the French team on Rexa, Ixia on Anna, Jean Lassalle on Deathwing, Draw Click on Vala, and Malgnia is playing Varian. It is indeed an arrow build for Vala, and we're getting a grenade build for Anna at this point. Whereas over on the right side of the map, the Svenska boys with Gia on Sylvanas, Svamkarata on Urel, we got Skok on Muradin, Maka on Tyrande, and Max Passion is playing Li Ming in the final and deciding game of this best of 3 series. So, Gia on the money pick, riding into battle in style. We got Flare as the level 1 choice for Rexa. And yeah, off we go. Off to the races. Vala immediately finding herself in an awkward spot here. They really want her. They get the stun and they get the kill. He was definitely praying at this point that they don't go through that particular vent. But they did. They saw her. The Stormbolt might have missed, but the rest did not. And that is another kill, another first blood for the red team. So yes, great start once again. But it didn't really work. Oh, and as I say, Urel gets killed in the top lane. Yeah, a bit unfortunate. That could have overall gone a little bit better for them, I suppose. But okay, we have a kill for a kill. Vala got at least the stack out of this earlier, and now they're still pushing at the bottom of the map a bit. But we are off to hopefully another great game in this series, and it has been a really entertaining one up to this point. Really enjoyed it. So with this, the barbecue play at the bottom of the map, they're trying for the first mercenary camp here. And all the way up towards the top, Li Ming is going to get assistance from Muradin and from Sylvanas, so they might push for some structures there. But even just going for the camp, I guess, could be good. With Sylvanas, on the other hand, you always have options, and this is something that they're immediately trying to pull here. So they have a lot of damage, and they're getting some onto the wall, but the rotation is obviously coming. Muradin is trying to secure the flank. is anchoring the play. They haven't gone for the mercenary camp, but they now leave the top lane up for the blue team, so they can go for one here fairly easily. But since the red team is now rotating down to the bottom of the map, they can continue to make the same play here once again by just simply trying to use Sylvanas and burst through the wall, at least partly. So yeah, something that they can definitely try and take down here. We'll see if they can properly pull this off or not. But for now, that's essentially what we're getting. So, yeah. So, alright. With that said and done, the bot lane has been targeted, as expected. Wall is down, rotation comes from the top. Malganir has taunt and uses it against Sylvanas, and that's a kill. They stayed a bit too long in order to get that wall destroyed completely and paid the price now. So that is 2 kills against 1. And of course for Vala we get the repeating arrow. We also have with Hunter Gatherer the first stack now acquired for Rexa. It's a little bit harder of course to get the globes together on a map like this. You're always in... but you can't rotate between lanes. You have one lane at your disposal if you're going for additional mercenary camps, and maybe you're also making some plays for let's say the objective itself and lock it in. You get 2 extra globes, but if you compare this to, I don't know, Tomb of Spider Queen, then it's obviously a huge difference. You can't just simply go from lane to lane and get those minion globes. But eventually you're gonna get that done. Also talking about getting things done, I don't think that Urel is gonna be too happy here. Without level 7, there's just no escape for the Space Goat. So yeah, she's down. At least the halftime show is 50-50. Very even, by the way. I mean, damn, there's 50 HP difference between the two teams. But Vala, she might not have her level 7 yet, but she can still go in with a repeating arrow. Yeah, taunt against Make, and damn son, that's another kill, isn't it? Yeah, Make is down. 4 kills to 1. Same time, Vala has been trying to damage over here, eats the Storm Bolt, but also gets a few additional arrows out, so is starting to get a couple more stacks in, as you can see. And yep, job well done. They might get the entire thing here, because the defense of the blue team is not too shabby either. They're defending well, they're pushing them back out. Vala is just attacking with another set of arrows. She's gonna pull it off. Skork falls, and team, this is looking pretty nasty for the Swedes. They're trying to get out, escape through the choke point, but there's a stun, a taunt follow-up, and Max Passion is in trouble, barely getting out of the fight. Immortal is already won. That gives Rexa another additional 2 globes, which is of course fantastic for his level 4 progress. But just generally speaking, this entire series we've seen the fan club do so much better on objectives. So, yep. Nice job. Really good job, actually. And I am highly curious to see how this is going to continue. Because this could very well be a situation in which the Svenska boys are gonna get murdered in game number 3. They started off with first blood, and then they lost 5 heroes in a row, they lost the objective, and now they're about to lose that fort at the top lane. So things are definitely not going according to plan for them. They're struggling here. And that is more than a bit of a problem. So, yeah. Fairly interesting to see what they can do right now. I mean, up at the top, what we're getting is another camp that's going to be fought over. There's a level lead by now for the blue team that they have going on for themselves too. But, yep, things are looking a little bit grim for the red team unless they are starting to bring this back. They take Misha down. That's a good first step, but just look at Tyrande. Tyrande is squishy, and this is something that the blue team is trying to capitalize on whenever they can here. They also got Urel low once again, and they're forcing everybody back off the point as they're fully committing now to the camp. They're taking this one as well. Nobody died on the side of the red team, but they've still taken a lot of damage. Shutting down Varian in this situation was definitely needed, so him getting stunned out was big, because if he gets close enough for another taunt, then they are likely gonna get murdered again. So, yeah, they gotta be very careful with this. Max Passion also about to get attacked. He might be in trouble here too. They're turning it on Malganir, and there's the kill. Good job. That one was important. They really need to try and make a couple of plays like this, because, yeah, things are... yeah, it looked a little bit grim, to say the least. But okay, so they're looking a little bit better right now. Starting to at least get some experience again. Now, to be fair, the problem is obviously still that they are a higher level behind, and we have level 10 now, which means that the fan club has heroic abilities for the next objective. And if the pensioners want to really get that as well, they gotta hurry a bit with this. And we'll see if they can actually do that. Because right now, they're desperately trying to get a camp at the bottom of the map. They are getting attacked right away from Deathwing, and this is already bad news for them. I mean, really bad news. They gotta fall back once more. But at least the objective is not being fought over. So I was just about to say there's an opportunity to get to heroic abilities, but then they lose Tyrande again. Tyrande... No! Jean Lassalle with pinpoint accuracy taking Muradin down. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. You gotta give it to them. They're doing a great job here. Wow. Level 10 is now ready, but the red team is gonna lose the halftime show. They will still be able to fight back afterwards, but I do not know if this is gonna be enough, all things considered. So, yeah, there is definitely a lot of momentum for the French team now, and they are trying to hold on to it as best as they can. The Swedes, they have to find a tool to bring this back. A kill would be fantastic. They need to leverage Tyrande somehow. Marke has not had a good game so far. Her weakness gets exploited over and over again. She is squishy, she doesn't have an escape, and the blue team has taken full advantage of this throughout the entire game. She died only twice, others have done too, but she is definitely a bit of a damage sponge in the sense that everybody wants to try and take her out. Here comes the next attack, already making a move for Muradin, jumping out. Okay, so far so good, but the objective is nearly lost again. And look at Deathwing alone, just zoning them out over and over again here. That's a snipe as Anna takes down Tyrande, so she's eliminated. And yep, that is bad news to say the least. 8 kills to 2. They're not looking good here. They have real trouble brewing, and this is particularly true now since we have a a full shield immortal coming through with it. And yeah, that looks pretty stellar for them. That looks actually fantastic. They're gonna get the fort. The fort at the top lane, by the way, has taken damage already too. So not only is the objective just with a full-on shield murdering that bottom fort, but at the top they're getting value too, and they might even be able to push this a little bit farther than that. So the situation right now is spectacular for the French team. They have a talent advantage as well. It's a 2-level lead already. They're 6 kills ahead. They're trying to go for Svamgrotta, and they take Ural down. In the meantime, Vala is getting one attack in after another with her arrows, which of course means that she is now looking at an absolutely awesome damage output for the next Immortal thanks to the 20 stacks. We're only 10 minutes in. She's definitely going to push this a little bit further, but this is just glorious. Look at the keep taking damage here. Now the topside fort has not been destroyed yet, but they can always rotate over and do exactly that, and I mean, they might be on the way here right now. French team is just crushing it currently. They're absolutely crushing it. I'm pretty impressed here, I'm not gonna lie. This is the first of the qualifiers that they're playing. Now keep in mind the way that the qualifiers are working is with every single qualifier you participate in, the farther you go in these qualifiers, you gain points. The points are added to a leaderboard, and then at the end of all 6 qualifiers, the teams at the top will move on to the playoffs. And right now, the fan club is making some real good arguments for being one of the playoff teams. I mean, they're jumping maybe a little bit ahead here, but a victory against the Swedish team would be a fantastic first move. And there are a lot of experienced players over there on the red team. Now, granted, some of them not playing as much as they did in the past, obviously. Particularly when we're talking about somebody like Marke, who came back from a bit of a hiatus for several months here. But still, this is pretty impressive what the blue team is currently doing here. After game number 1, after the turnaround and then the start in game number 2, it really felt for a bit like the Swedish team woke up, you know, they needed a bit of a warm-up, they needed to start into the game a bit. But what we're seeing right now instead is just an absolute brutal display of strength from the French team. And that's not something that I'm saying a lot here. And they are now moving from one lane to another, just wreaking havoc, doing damage and doing their best to take all of this down. So, yep, job nicely done. If they are able to do a little bit more here, top 4 already taken out, maybe go for the keep with the next objective, that would be the dream. It's even talents, but they're closer and closer to level 16 now. If they're able to move on to that as well, that would be pretty sick. So there's a chance that they can do that. Halftime show is already a victory. Vala is contributing a ton right now with the damage number that she's bringing in and the 23 stacks that she has, which results in the Swedish team going for aggression. They want to be aggressive here, and they need kills. They know that too. They need them before level 16 happens, so they're trying to take some of them down as quickly as they possibly can. But while that happens, the bottom takes damage. Catapult is, as usual, just inting, griefing, and tilting me. But the rest of the team, they're buying time. And now you're in this awkward spot if you're the Swedish team. Do you defend your Immortal? Do you try to go for the objective? Do you defend the bot side keep? Whatever you do, it's a bad choice. There are no good choices here. They need to win a team fight. They need to do it quickly. They go for Vala, and she finally dies, but they lose Sylvanas in the process. Sylvanas is down. Can they follow it up? No, the Stormveil gets dodged. Ixia alive. Jukes out Urel. You monster. Ixia, that monster, comes in, finally gets killed, but boy, did he make it hard for them. That's what she said. 16 to 14, 10 kills to 4. We have that talent advantage finally for the fan club. Deathwing is at the bottom of the map. They want the keep, and newsflash, they are gonna get the keep. The keep destroyed. Svamgrota desperately trying to hold on. Varian at least falls. Malganir gets killed at the top. 5 kills to 10 now. A bit of momentum for the red team, but I am not sure if it's going to be enough to turn this around, or if it's already too little too late. They need the objective, and they need it quickly. I mean, there's a chance right now to use Sylvanas and push aggressively, particularly if they're getting another kill here. And damn, they are working hard to do exactly that. But they still don't have level 16. Guys, they're still 1.5 levels behind. Even with them getting all of these hits in right now, it's still rough. So, yeah. We'll see how it works out for them. But as is, they need to now really do... Yeah, they need to perform a bit of a miracle here. At the bottom of the map, taking the minion wave out, that's going to be the first step. Trying to push this in. So there is a chance. But can they really do it? That's the question. They will have level 16, that's the good news. But they're giving up the bottom Immortal for that. They didn't want to fight with the talent disadvantage again. They just said, alright, whatever, we go top side, we use Sylvanas, we do as much damage as we can, but we need level 16. We can't let them force us into another fight without us having the level 16 talents. And so, yep, they're doing whatever they can in order to accomplish that. Top side, fort is nearly destroyed, but the fight is coming. 16 talents give us Mirror Ball now for Li Ming, and we also have the Wheel of the Forsaken here. In the meantime, we have the Celestial Attunement after the Harsh Moonlight for Tyrande. And they haven't taken the fort out. The fort at the bot lane, on the other hand, has fallen. So the blue team has decided to rotate topside and try and fight there. But they give up the bottom fort to the Immortal. So, yeah, I mean, the Swedish team is coming back a bit. They're down to a single keep, but they have made some steps into the right direction. The only question is if it's going to be enough, because level 20 would very likely still break their neck. So before level 20, they need a team fight. And they're going to try and force that. But can they? Can they force a proper team fight here? That's the next question. So now we have 10 kills to 5. Down at the bottom of the map, Deathwing still doing his thing, and they're joining up as at the top the attack comes once more with the help of Sylvanas. They're trying to take that fort down. They will be able to pull it off. That relieves more pressure from the top lane now. But the next objective is going to be big. The next objective is going to be insanely important. It's, in my opinion, the last chance of the Swedish team to potentially win game number 3 and decide the series in their favor. Vala's at 27 stacks. She has Manticore now. Stacking slowed down for her. Definitely true. Mirrodin. Ah, they want the taunt and they're all getting out. Alright, fight is being forced. Fight is forced. Li Ming isn't here yet. Li Ming needs resets. But currently, they're still trying to get her into the mix. The Immortal is now up. A couple of ults have already been used here. But this is the chance of the Swedish team to bring it back. It is now or never. If you lose the Immortal and your opponent gets level 20 and has therefore Storm Talons over you, then you are... I mean, this is pretty much GG right there. So they need to make the play now. They're going again for Vala. Wailing Arrow is already in. They're chasing them. Vala, she survived! What? She was essentially dead already. Survived somehow, and now Mirrodin is gone. They need to kill Malganir. They need to kill him. If they can't take him down right now, they are fighting 4 versus 5, but they get the kill. Both of the tanks are gone. Both tanks are gone. Half a level until 20 for the blue team. Top side, Deathwing is defending. Yeah, there's damage done at the wall. And now here comes the cavalry. They need something. They abandon the camp at the core. They know they need to kill and need it quickly. Rexa feigning his death. They're trying for Vala. In comes Tyrande and Sylvanas. They want Vala and they get Vala. Li Ming is still alive. Tyrande trying to escape here. Deathwing just a force to be reckoned with in the backline as they're desperately trying to hold on to the game. Marker goes down in this 1v3. Li Ming wants the kill and gets the kill. They get the kills, but they're still about to lose the objective, and they just cannot afford to do that. Up at the top, the push still continues. Shaman Camp is still up for a little bit longer. Level 20 is now available. The fan club with the Acrobat. The desperate attempt to try and take down the Immortal as Anna is just sniping them from a distance. They're going for Rexa. They want to go for those stagger deaths. They need those stagger deaths, and it's exactly the play that they're currently attempting to execute. But in comes Varian, and Urel is gone. Urel eliminated. Skook jumping out. He is getting out of dodge, and now I think it's all she wrote. At the top side, the keep nearly has fallen on the blue team side, so they were able to do at least that. But I think this is not happening. Maybe the catapult destroys it. Even that is a question mark. Vala takes it. It was clutch. 2,700 hit points on the shield. You can defend that. You can absolutely defend that. But what a series. What an insane series. This is the first match of the qualifier, guys. I mean, we're literally looking at the first match of the qualifier, and it is ridiculous. I mean, it really is. Totally crazy. Teams are just totally crushing it here, and it is something. 13 kills to 8. Can they defend that top side keep? Can they somehow hold on to this? Definitely not if they're losing Mirrodin here. I can guarantee you that much. 45,000 damage on Deathwing. Top damage for the team. Vala is a close second. Actually, Varian is a close second with 44,000. Vala is then coming in third with 40k. 65,000 for Li Ming. She's currently the big hope of the Swedish team. And they save the keep. We're now 20 minutes into the game, and they save the keep. Both teams are on level 20 now. Level 20 for both teams. And this is maybe a chance. Tyrande hasn't even taken her ult yet. We got Rewind. Svamgrotta getting out of the fight. They're still trying to siege up on this. And Vala with 34 stacks. Vala, particularly with Acrobat now, is getting more and more stacks together. And you all know how dangerous that can be as this continues. It's gonna get really dangerous. Just simply because she's going to be in a spot where she's going to absolutely destroy everybody that is coming even close to her. I mean, this is going to get dangerous. Not only in one-on-one situations against Vala, but just think about the Immortal for just a second. Once that Vala gets to the Immortal, she is going to wreck this. 35 is not insane, don't get me wrong. We're 20 minutes into the game, but we had a lot of team fights too. And the more she's stacking now with the Acrobat on 20, the worse this gets. They're scaling into the late game, and this is something that the red team just doesn't have. This is how strong they are. Unless Li Ming gets resets, this is it. So, yeah. It's gonna be tough. Definitely. But alright. The attacks are coming. They're already going up to the top. Trying to make a play here too. Yeah, what else can they do? I mean, right now... Hello? Team? Okay, timing it with Misha. I was about to say, like, they just forget to take it. But yeah, Misha takes it a second later. More time around the objective. Push at the top, but obviously there's a Shaman Camp too. Yeah, and in the meantime, while all of that happens, we have the next play being made right here for Shaman Camp and for the Immortal. Yeah, 22 minutes into the game. There's a level 20 for Tyrande finally. We get the Celestial Wrath. More or less expected. So far, so good. And what else can they now do? I mean, right here, you guys, you can't let Vala onto that objective. Look how quickly she burns that down. With every single arrow, look how quickly the hit points just disappear whenever she's able to connect an arrow. So they're giving up the halftime show, trying to get into a good position. Urel is sitting at the side, gets immediately hit by a sleep dart, but they go for Ana, and they get the kill. Yes, they do. They get the kill, but can they follow up on this? That's the question. Taunt. Muradin, and he gets out. Muradin gets out. Gia's a bit low, could go back into the fight. Vala! They get her the double kill. The Swedes are trying to pull it off here. The Swedes with all of the momentum as they're trying to follow up with additional kills, but Tyrande is low. Max Passion, Urel, they lose Urel. They cannot kill Deathwing. They can. Finally is dead. Core is getting attacked on both sides. They lose Variant. Guys, they are turning it around. Are you shitting me? You can't be serious. 5-man team wipe. The Frenchies are losing the game. The catapult is already on the core, and they really turned it. I cannot believe this is happening. You gotta be kidding me. They go for the core, they take it down. The Svenska boys, they go to the next round, and they send the fan club packing. Bobby Kotick ruined it again. The blue team drops into the losers bracket. Holy hell.